All right, let's get right into it. If you just found out you didn't match, this one is for you. And I know this is an incredibly tough moment. There's just no way around that. But what we're going to do right now is walk through a clear, actionable game plan for what comes next. So, first things first, let's just sit with this for a second. It is absolutely okay to feel heartbroken, disappointed, angry, whatever it is you're feeling, feel it. Because this moment, this result, is not a final judgment on your career. Think of it as a detour, not a dead end. So, before you start making calls or firing off emails, the single most important thing you can do is just pause. Seriously, just breathe. There's this huge temptation to immediately jump into fix it mode, but acting from a place of panic rarely leads to the best decisions. I mean it. Give yourself that time. This one event does not cancel out years of hard work, your talent, or your compassion. You know, you are not the first and you won't be the last brilliant physician to face this exact hurdle. Your journey just took a slightly different path than you expected. So, how do we actually navigate that path? Well, we're going to frame it with a simple but really powerful three-step approach. First, we pause, which is what we're talking about now. Then we regroup with a solid strategy. And finally, we rise with deliberate action. Okay, let's get into that second phase, regroup. This is where we transition from processing the emotions to building a logical, step-by-step plan. This is the part where you start to take back control of the narrative. And that's the million-dollar question, right? It can feel totally overwhelming, like you're just staring at a huge blank wall. But the starting point is actually super clear. It all begins with gathering some information. Look, you can't fix a problem if you don't know what it is. It's time to reach out to the people in your corner, your mentors, your advisors, any trusted faculty. Ask them for brutally honest, constructive feedback. Where were the weak spots? What could be stronger? This isn't about finding someone to blame. This is about collecting data. And once you have that outside perspective, it's time to turn the magnifying glass on yourself. You've got to do a deep, honest audit of your entire ERAS application. Read your personal statement again. Did it really tell your story? Think about your letters of recommendation. Were they from the right people? And be honest with yourself. How were your interview skills? This self-analysis is absolutely critical. Now, during this regroup phase, you might consider if more education makes sense. And what's cool about this is seeing it not just as a way to fill a year, but as a strategic choice. For example, if feedback showed your research profile was a little light, an MPH could be a total game changer. Or if you're interested in administration, an MBA makes you a really unique candidate. It's all about strategically adding another powerful layer to your story. Okay, so that brings us to the final and most exciting step, rise. This is where all that planning and strategizing turns into real, meaningful action. This is the comeback phase. Right. The goal for this next year isn't just to bide your time. Every single thing you do should be aimed at making your next application impossible to ignore. You're not just reapplying, you're reapplying as a stronger, wiser, and more experienced version of yourself. Probably the most important thing you can do is stay in the clinical world, get hands-on experience, an observership, an externship, whatever you can find. It shows your commitment is rock solid, it keeps your skills fresh, and, this is huge, it's a perfect opportunity to get new, stellar letters of recommendation. And on top of clinical work, research is another fantastic way to really level up your application. See if you can join a lab, get your name on a poster presentation, or even better, contribute to a publication. It just screams academic curiosity and shows you're engaged with medicine on a deeper level. And a really key point here is to stay flexible. You know, the path to becoming a doctor isn't always a straight line. Be open to other routes. Maybe that means looking into the SOAP for any remaining spots, or maybe it means considering a prelim year or research year. These aren't setbacks, they're strategic stepping stones. Don't get tunnel vision, keep your options open. In this slide, this just nails the mindset you need to have. Every single thing you identified as a weakness in your old application, that's now your to-do list. The feedback said your letters were just okay. Great. Now your goal is to build new relationships with faculty. Lacking leadership experience? Perfect. Go mentor a junior student or lead a small project. You are actively turning criticism into fuel. So let's wrap this all up. This whole process, this whole journey, it's about resilience. It's about taking a moment that feels like an ending and transforming it into a powerful new beginning. I really want you to let this quote sink in. Nothing that happened on match day changes your intelligence, your compassion, or your ability. The world still needs great doctors, and your spot is still out there waiting for you. So, what do you do tomorrow? Here it is. This is your checklist. This is your roadmap for the next chapter. Every single item on this list is a concrete, manageable step you can take to move forward with purpose. And in the end, it all comes back to this. This is your mantra now. Pause to honor your feelings. Regroup with a smart, informed strategy. And then rise with confidence. Your story in medicine is so far from over. Honestly, the most interesting part might just be getting started.